What is up, guys? Happy Thursday, or I'm making this on Thursday, but it'll probably be Friday by the time most of you see it. So today was the day of the funeral for, it was kind of like a group funeral for the hospital, and it went pretty good, I gotta say. It was a good way to kind of put a closure, if you will, on the situation. If you guys have been following, Sam and I had a miscarriage in August, and here we are. It's October 18th, and today was the day of the service. It was really nicely done. So yeah, it was really good. Got the deer stand in here. I was just working on a project. I had my toolboxes in here. Of course, I needed them for a project. So, sounds like it's raining out there. Anyways, kind of overhangs a little bit, but should be pretty good on the way up there. I gotta tighten it down a little bit, but yeah. So, did some research, of course, like I said I was going to, about the corn. And you can't have bait out 10 days prior to the season. So when I put the stand up, I'll put my camera up. The salt lick should be fine. The salt lick is pure salt. If it had any sort of fructose, glucose in it, it would be considered a protein type block. And it's just salt, so no biggie there. I'll probably put a tiny bit of the corn out, but we'll be 14 days out, so I have 4 days. So really, it has to be a tiny amount, absolutely tiny, if any. I probably won't, but I'll still bring the bag up there. And it sounds like Dad might put it to good use. He maybe will put some in the driveway where he always gets the deer coming through, and then his camera should pick up on that. So $8 bag of corn. I'm not sad. Other than that, I just did a couple excuse me, a couple things. I wiped down the interior of the truck. Didn't, do the floors or nothing, but wiped it down so it's not as dusty. And looks like I missed a spot. And we're pretty much ready to go. I checked the oil and stuff like that. Seems to be okay. And, well, the pressure washer, I've had it for 2 years, and for the 2 years, it's been just kind of a pile of junk. So I'm going to throw this into the local scrapyard dumpster. Probably have to drain the oil out of it first and the gas, which is no big deal, but I'll throw that and throw the rest of it, and I'll show you guys what I did with the cart. You got any ideas? There it is, huh? How about that? That's pretty nifty. So this took me like 10 minutes because the motor was already unbolted, because to get the pump off it has to be unbolted. And so you can see I put this welder on there, and it fits and looks really legit. So yeah, and it's really balanced well. Like, if I wasn't sitting on this thing, there we go. So it's really balanced really nicely. It's not heavy to roll one-handed at all, and it's really sturdy. And how I connected it was pretty simple. It sits on there relatively perfect. I took a plate, which was just handy and had a bunch of holes in it. I just trimmed off the ugly edges, and then I just bolted this with carriage bolts on each side. That way it can't slide back any further. And then I took some of this plumber's tape, I believe, or whatever they call it, and I just kind of wrapped that around, and then using those same carriage bolts as with the holes, so you can see, and 2 of the screws already in the case. That's all she took. So obviously, if this thing flies out of the back of the truck while I'm driving or something, it's not going to survive anyways. But for moving it around my garage or bringing it up to my dad's shop, and doing a little bit of welding up there. This makes it a lot easier to load and unload from the back of the truck or wherever. And when I'm cleaning now, because this welder's heavy. I don't know how much these weigh, but I know it was a team lift on the box, and I think it's around 70, possibly 80 pounds. This is a big, heavy thing, because the new welders are light because they're inverters. But this bad boy has a giant coil in it. Can maybe make out some of it. A giant coil in there, and that is essentially it. It's really a simple design, actually. But I was gonna put it on the dolly, and then I thought, well, dang, 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So there's that. How about that? It's pretty good. The only thing it's missing is some sort of holder for my welding rods, but not worried about that. So a really quick, easy project, and that's awesome. So now, if I can just get an extension cord from an RV that would fit this end, like a 50-footer, 30 amp is all I need, because so far I ran it at like 110 amps, but it was really too much. Right around 70 to 90 amps is where I always run it, which is, this is a 205, so that's less than half power, and really it only needs 50 amps, so technically I really only need the 30 amp, because I don't think I'll ever be running this puppy balls to the wall, if you will. So pretty cool idea, I thought. I think it turned out well, and it stores nicely now. I should have actually flipped it the other way, but it stores real nice and takes up pretty much the same amount of space it did before. So there you go. If you have an old pressure washer you're getting rid of, toss the motor and keep the cart. Garage is thinning out. I've been throwing a lot of stuff out, just stuff that I really don't need or use or whatever. The sound system will be next, because I don't have the remote for it, and there's no way to turn the channels without the remote. So, yeah, get rid of that, and just kind of going through and thinning out my herd here, because it just is really overwhelming when you have so much stuff. So we'll just throw it out, and yeah, that is pretty much it. One thing I will say that was kind of weird about the ceremony was when you show up, it's a closed casket, and in their letter they said you can bring a stuffed animal, a letter, and throw it in. That sounds wrong. And put it in with the grave. And it was closed, so they had us put everything on top. And then once everything was done, I went up there and I asked, I said, what is your plan with this type of, the stuff that we put on top? Are you guys going to put it in there and then bury it? And they said, the only thing that gets buried is the flowers. Everything else gets donated. So the stuffed animal that we put so much thought and effort in, with getting it up in Superior, and I made the little rock necklaces and stuff, and our love letters, the stuffed animal would get donated and the love letters would get thrown away. So Sam and I also put flowers down. So then we grabbed our stuffed animal and the love letters, and we went out and we bought a free floating shelf, and we're gonna put some of the nice things. We got one of those willow tree figurines, if you will. We're gonna put that on there. We're gonna put the stuffed animal and love letter on there. We have like a little memorial in our bedroom for baby Jensen, because you know, it might sound crazy, but if you guys have never been through it, it's kind of plays on your heart a little bit. So that yeah, I kind of felt bad about taking it, if you will, back, but ultimately it was just gonna get donated to who knows where. Well, they said to the police station, and then like when a child's having a bad day or there's a lot of commotion, you know, you might have watched Cops, they give them a stuffed animal. That's kind of what would happen. But in the sense of this bear has been blessed and has been completely thought of for a different situation. It was kind of weird to us, so we took it back. But anyways, I got to get my toolboxes put back together here, and tomorrow I'll go to work, and then the next day up north. So I went and fueled the pig up today. Like I said, I checked all the fluids. She's looking good and ready to go. So cheers, guys, and I'm thinking of maybe doing a live stream as I'm driving up to the tent. That'll be Saturday early morning, so keep an eye out for that. And on another note, I have, if you guys have noticed, I've been putting ads on the videos, and I've been posting them regularly and trying to do decent quality content for you guys. And I've almost gotten to my $100 threshold, which if you think about it, that's taken a long time. I've been putting videos up for like 2 years, so I think I'm at like $90. So maybe with a couple more videos, I'll be up to like $100, and that money I hope to put towards making fun projects here in the garage, because you guys really do seem to like those projects. I would like to rebuild an adventure trailer, but that's going to take a little bit of funds from the YouTube channel, because I'm going to get a Harbor Freight trailer and build it up from there, and I want to record the whole process because of the fact that I want people to know how to do it. So yeah, thanks everybody for the support, and I will talk to you later.